Thank you for being here with me today. Today, I want to share with you and talk to you about the power of words. The scripture says, kind words are a honeycomb, sweet to the soul and healing to the bones. Isn't that so wonderful? There is actually like a research, a study. You can look it up. So there was this scientist who was doing an experiment. He would say kind, sweet, uplifting, motivating words to the water. He would talk to the water in the sweet, kind, motivating, positive words. And then he would freeze it. And then when he takes them out from the freezer, when it's become ice, it would form like beautiful patterns, almost like, like the icicles, like the snow, the snowflakes. And it's got beautiful patterns and forms. And then he would, on the next set, and the next thing that he would do is he would talk to the water with mean spirit, like he would say negative words or angry words or like discouraging words. And then he would freeze it, and once the liquid becomes frozen, he would notice that the ice actually showed not desirable like forms and designs. Like it was sort of not attractive. It was uglier compared to the ice that was formed when the scientists spoke words of encouragement, of positivity into it. So of course this study is being scrutinized by other scientists, like any other studies. Like wine, one year it's good for you, it's healthy for you, the next year it's not. So science and studies evolved, but just having that um, um, just having that result just having that result from the study is very very interesting. And the scripture says, kind words are like honeycombs, sweet to the soul and healing to the bones. So it tells you that. And there's also this what do you call that, a video, and it's got, I believe, like 30 million views. It's a very short video. There was a blind man sitting at a stoop, and he had a sign on the side. It was saying, I'm blind, I need help. So he was pretty much a beggar. So people would pass him by, look at him, smirk, but they would not share anything. So he was just sitting there and sitting there. And then this corporate looking woman comes walking by. And what happens is he looks at the sign, she gets her pen, and then she writes something else. While she was writing, the blind man was like filling her shoes. um so when that lady left, he noticed like people coming by and passing by were giving him a lot of coins and money, and they were like sharing with him. And then at the end of the day, this woman came back and stood in front of him, and he felt the shoe. So he recognized it's the same woman who picked up his sign and wrote something else. And then he asked, lady, what did you do to my sign? And the lady said, I wrote exactly the same thing, but in a different way. And then the sign, instead of it saying that I am blind, I need help, it said, it's a beautiful day and I can't see it. Isn't that very, very, very a heartwarming and heart inspiring and jaw dropping almost. And when I saw that video, I felt it in my heart. It's just by changing the words, it just changes the whole perspective of the whole thing. The power of words. So it's important how we relate to other people. Like we have to share kind words to other people. They could be having a very bad day, but you just show kindness with a gentle smile, because smiling is a form of language, so as words. And then it uplifts them. Or you can just say some kind words, like how, like sincerely, like how are you, or how can I help you, in a very sincere, not more like routine kind of way. They would appreciate it. I know somebody who was having a very hard time with during the holidays. She was in a family gathering, and of course, some family gatherings, it's very uplifting and happy, and there's fun and there's joy. But there's some family gatherings that it also kind of like fires up this little arguments or misunderstandings. So there was a time during that night that her and his brother like had a little bit of a fight. And of course, when siblings fight, of course the parents get hurt more. But she took the higher road, and she just kept herself silent. But she was hurting deep inside. She would smile and laugh, but deep inside she was like crying. And then somebody, like a relative from far away, from a different country, just sent her like a very short like check-in, like happy new year, how are you. It was like a short voicemail. And then she's fond of that person, and she hasn't talked to him in a long time. So that uplifted up her spirit. And so that teaches us the power of words. We have to choose the words we have to say to other people. Very important, the things that we say to the kids, because they're like sponge. They absorb everything. We have to speak with them words of encouragement, like you can do this, you can be anything, you can be anyone, because their brains are still molding, and the words that we say to them, it gets molded in their subconscious, and then it can help them mold into the man or woman that they're gonna be in the future. Of course, actions paired with words is more effective, but we have to be careful, especially when we're angry around kids, to say good words. And if let's say if the teacher is dealing with a difficult student, they should say it in a very constructive way, not more like a negative way. There's this story again. I think his name is Jim Quick. He was saying like he was 9 year old at that time, and then I believe he fell and kind of like cracked his skull, and then he recovered fully. Well, sort of, but his teacher told him that you're not smart enough, or like those in that realm. And of course, after he heard that, he lost his self-esteem, and then he became more like, like, I can't do this, I can't do that. It became his being. But then he found out, thank goodness, years and years later, he's this very famous and very big inspirational speaker, Jim Quick. And he was able to reverse that. There's also the story of a young man, like he grew up, and there's nothing wrong with being a janitor, but like like things happen in life that leads us to us. At the end of the day, I feel like every generation gets better and better. Your generation, your grandparents' generation was good, your parents' generation is better, and then yours is gonna get better. So it's destined to be like that. But there was this kid, and I guess his dad was alcoholic, and he would tell like, you don't sum up into anything, all you're gonna be is like a janitor. So he was at such a young age, all of his thinking like, this is what I'm gonna be, so I'm gonna be that. So he grew up to be a janitor, and that's all his dream was gonna be, because everybody keeps telling him that that's what his mind and his abilities are capable of being. And then of course his mother remarried another guy, and he was very supportive, and he said, like, I will, send you to school. We'll see how it goes, and then we'll take it from there. And then once he was in school, he was doing so good, and then he got his bachelor's, he's got his MBA, and then he's like this big person now. But what held him back initially was the words being sent to him. So the power of words is very, very real, and we have to be careful how we talk to other people. We just have to be kind. um, Definitely in days when we have, when we're not feeling good, when we feel like we have anger in our hearts, we should just usually not say anything, because we typically would regret what we said. Saying words of encouragement, of hope to everyone around us, I think we need that. And of course, sharing the scriptures through however we can. We can say the scriptures while we're dealing with clients, while we're dealing with our patients. Words of healing, words of encouragement. Or you could start a YouTube, and then we can collaborate and partner with each other. Please subscribe to this channel, and if you have any other insights, feel free to leave that in the comments section. And if you have somebody or a family member or a loved one who may benefit from this message, share my channel, and I will see you soon. Have a good day, and God bless.